What's up, ECE532? Today we're going to introduce two new methods to predict movie ratings. Now, we've already learned model-based methods such as singular value decomposition and ridge regression that utilize both the user and the item. But today we'll be taking a step back in complexity and looking at the memory-based matrix methods of cosine similarity and Pearson correlation. Let's give a reminder as to what collaborative filtering is. Collaborative filtering is based on the assumption that people will like things similar to the things that they already like, and the other people with similar tastes will like the similar things. For example, if Jane is looking for a movie and if Josh and Jane both like The Lion King and Titanic, but Josh also likes Harry Potter, it is likely that Jane will also enjoy Harry Potter. The goal with collaborative filtering is to make automatic predictions for the interests of a user by collecting their tastes or preferences from a large database of many users. Before Amazon innovated recommendation systems with memory-based collaborative filtering in 1998, model-based collaborative filtering was much more common in academia industry. Today, however, you can see these collaborative filtering methods being used everywhere in websites such as Amazon, Spotify, and Netflix to recommend products. Let's look at the difference between item-based and user-based filtering. For a user-based filtering, you can calculate the similarity between users and use that to find potential ratings. In item-based methods, you can calculate the similarity between items and use that to guess a user's ratings. In a movie ranking problem, hybrid methods such as SVD calculate with the whole matrix that results should be the same if the rating is used. In contrast, a user-based or item-based method only calculates the similarity of a user or item pairs. The unknown rating of the item will then be predicted by summing the other existing user's rating, weighted by the user's similarity to our subject user. One method for calculating the similarity is the cosine similarity. The similarity of a pair of items can be calculated by the equation shown above. In this, you sum the values of A times B together and divide them by the magnitudes. We'll go over the calculations in the next slide. So, if we want to find the similarity between Josh and Jane, we multiply the matching values between each of the users and leave out movies with missing values. We start with The Lion King, which is 5 for Josh and 4 for Jane. Next, we do Titanic, which is 4 and 5, and then Spy Kids, which is 1 and 2. We then divide these by the magnitudes of Josh and Jane's ratings, and we get a similarity of 0.966. After we find both similarities, we can calculate ratings. Let's say we want to find Josh's rating for Memento. If you take Jane's rating of Memento and multiply that by the similarity of Josh and Jane. Next, you take Jackson's rating of Memento and multiply that by the similarity between Josh and Jackson. If there was another person, you take their rating and multiply that by their similarity with Josh. Finally, you add all these together and divide them by the similarities between the users, and we get 0.213 for the rating of Memento. The next method to use is Pearson correlation. This measures the correlation between two users or items. A correlation approaching 1 means there is a strong positive correlation, and a correlation of approaching negative 1 means there is a strong negative correlation. When it is 0, there is no correlation. The way we calculate this is between two users or items. We take the rating of x and subtract it by the mean of x, and multiply that by the corresponding rating y and subtract that by their mean y. Finally, we divide this by the square root of the summation of x minus x mean squared times the summation of y minus the mean of y squared. Let's do a calculation. We increase the size of the matrix to make it a bit easier to visualize. So we're going to find the Pearson correlation between Lion King and Titanic. So first we have to find the mean of each of the movies. We get 3.25 and 3. Next, we take Josh's ratings of Lion King and Titanic and subtract them by their respective means. After that, we go to Jane, Jack, Jermaine, and JaVale, and so on. Once we have the sum of everyone's ratings, we divide by the square root of the summation of the ratings minus the means squared for the Lion King, and multiply that by the square root of the summation of the ratings minus the mean squared for the Titanic. In the end, we get a similarity of 0.91659, meaning if you like The Lion King, it's likely you will like the Titanic. To calculate ratings for item-based filtering, it's basically the same idea as what we did with the users, but instead we use similarity between items. Thanks for watching!